Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental relationship reading for the element of air. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you're Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have air high up in your chart, then this message is for you. If you've never had your charts read, I do put in the description of all the videos like this a natal chart that I personally have used. It is through Llewellyn, and it just gives you your base 12 houses with all little signs and symbols. And then it gives you a 10 to 20 page description of what all that means. But I put it in the description so you guys can check it out if you want something a little more intense or a little more in depth than just the basic stuff you can find on the internet. And then the other links down there are affiliate links, so when you click through those, that does support the channel. With that, we'll get started with our readings. I will read for the singles first, and then we will look at the energy for those in relationships. We look at which chakra is lighting up and what kind of a lesson comes into play with that. Then we get a little more information from the Whispers of Love Oracle deck, which is a beautiful deck that Josephine Wall, if you know who she is, you'll know why I say that. But she is the illustrator for it. And then we go and look at the tarot to get a little more clarification about all that. So we're going to start off with air singles, and you have number 2, security. This is root chakra energy, so this is a foundation. Hopefully my camera lets you see that. And when I hear security and when I see this, again, we're stepping into this energy of, I feel balance coming in. Like, you're aware of how safe and secure you are because you have protection basically at all quarters. And I'm also getting the energy that comes with security of a foundation. Like, you know that you're in a good spot, you're stable. And even when other people are like, how are you so strong? How are you able to do what you do? Air singles, it's because you actually have a self-awareness that I'm feeling with this one. So we'll check in our book here because the book has a lot of good information. Air, this is interesting because the elemental energy that comes with this card is called Earth. So you might have a little bit of a challenge understanding or accepting this, or maybe even finding this, but it's the strength that you have that's going to make this easier. The Earth is the home. It is linked with the physical body, financial and monetary affairs, tangible comforts, and worldly realities. Whether it's climbing a mountain, hiking a meandering shore, raking leaves, or studying your ecosystem, the natural environment is a beauty that is like a mirror that reflects the hope and inspiration of all beings. And we have some key words with this book. So we have independence, self-reliance, self-determining, confidence, understanding, responsible, and spontaneous. And I would add in there strength as well, because air, you have got the strength to deal with a lot. Air singles, I feel like for some of you out there, this has been just how you live life. You have to do the things, you have to be the one that's stable, and you've had to recreate, so to speak, your own foundation to build upon, and you're doing it quite successfully. So as a single, you're actually in a good spot because you're like, I can stand on my own 2 feet. I don't need a partner. But it wouldn't be a bad idea if I wanted one. So you really are setting yourself up for success, and you're also opening the doorway by establishing your own foundation that you can have that other person in your life, and it's really not going to bother anything you have set up because you're going to be responsible with how you look for that person as well. So your Whispers of Love says, I love you, and these are powerful words. See, it says right down, very powerful words. And when you say I love you, it's that taking care of yourself, taking care of your own needs as well. Needs over wants, we'll put it that way, because you need to eat, you need to have a house, you know, those kind of things, the important stuff. And when you say I love you to yourself, you're actually opening the door for others too as well. I'm feeling for air singles, this is a great time for you to be open to the new idea, be open to the new relationship, if you so choose. Again, if you're looking for just friends, open up for that. If you're looking for something deeper, see what the universe brings forward, because of how secure, stable, and focused you've been and the ability to put in the hard work, you're able to step into this other energy way easier. And you're doing so with the understanding and compassion for yourself and your soul, And that's opening that door to others who are also going to work with that kind of an energy with you. Your message from the tarot is number 12 at the Major Arcana, so this is big life energy here. It is the Awakening card. I believe this would be the Hanged Man in traditional tarot. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness. A temporary pause in action. Rushing around is probably not the best thing, Air. You like to move, you like to keep going, you like a new challenge. But what I'm feeling with this is it's time to pause. If you need to make an adjustment, do so. It's also a time for re-examining how you look at relationships. If you always saw it has to be this particular way and this is the only way and I'm going to close the door, maybe not. Because you are secure, you're stable where you're at. So when you're looking at relationships, being able to see them from a different perspective is actually important to your understanding of the other person. Air, you love to learn anyway, so why not learn some other options out there? And that's what the Awakening is calling to, is being open to a new idea. If you've only ever met like dating options through a very specific like website or app or whatever they're doing nowadays, well, why not go to a book signing? Go to a painting class, like if you're gonna, one of those afternoon or evening things. Find a different place to meet people and see if that doesn't change your options a little bit. Your second tarot is the Ace of Winter. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately, Air energy, and amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Air, even the cards are saying it's time to maybe change the way you are approaching relationships if you're single. If you're looking for a relationship, or you want even a new friendship or a new social life, because I think we all can agree some days you just want that, maybe it's time to shake things up a little bit and look at things from the different perspective and see what new beginnings come forward. Because usually when you change one or two things, it's amazing how the rest of it falls around and shifts and changes as well. You're the one who gets to adjust your world, so the suggestion I'm getting from my guides is, what are you going to adjust it to, and how are you going to show up in that new adjusted state? You're the only one that can make that decision, Air. So, Air singles, go out there and see what you can shake up a little bit and see what the universe has to offer for you. So now we're going to hop over into our Air couples. For the couples, it could be you are the air sign, or your partner could be the air sign, or it could just be that there's a lot of air in the chart altogether. And reminder, Air's zodiac is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Also, with that, well, before we get into the actual full reading here, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and comment. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. One thing, since I read intuitively, I like hearing what other people's intuition guides them to say or see. So if you see something that is different from what I'm bringing forward, feel free to comment and let me know what your thoughts are on it. The big one I always ask is, if as long as we're respectful, I'm always open to hear everything what people have to say. So with that, let's hop into our chakra energy for couples. We have number 24, balance. It's either the heart or the solar plexus. We'll find out in a second. And with balance, it's this call to, how do you and your partner show up in the relationship? Is everything pretty much even keeled? Like, who cooks, the other one cleans, if one is taking care of the kids when the other one's at work, when time switches up. How do you guys show up in your relationship in a balanced state? And how do you work with that kind of energy of finding balance? Because there's always a dynamic in every relationship, especially romantic ones. And it doesn't matter if it's a male, female, 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 male, male, it does not matter. There's the dynamic of the masculine and the feminine in balance and alignment. And when they are, the relationships go really well. So how are you guys showing up? And if you are in a really good relationship, observe how you're doing it. When you really pay attention to that, it's little things that you're finding that line everything up, and you're going to notice that that makes everything a lot better. So we are in the heart chakra, and it is Hanuman is this dude right here. And Hanuman has a human body, a monkey's face, and is a central figure in India's greatest epics. The Ramayana, one of India's greatest epics, the Ramayana, sorry. With immeasurable strength and will, he helped reunite divine lovers Ram and Sita after she had been stolen away. In this image, Hanuman sits on a large rock in the seashore while waves break around him. Revered as a symbol of selfless service, he represents loyalty, undying devotion, and transcending concerns about one's own self and needs. In the words of the Western Guru Ram Dass, his attitude is, how can I help? And that's actually pretty important, because if you're in a balanced relationship, you're taking care of your own needs, but you're also looking out for the other person. And so you're in that constant state of, how can I support this person? And you're always looking to support your partner in these relationships that are healthy. And when you do, notice how much more you get back. When you're willing to give, you're able to receive more. And it's this energy of give and take, and it's constantly flowing. If you've never watched the movie The Celestine Prophecy or read the books, highly recommend it, because as I'm talking about this, I'm seeing this energy pattern, and they show that in the video. It's pretty cool. So our keywords here: finding inspiration, inward and outward balance, wisdom beyond logic, intuition, the importance of paying attention to priorities, and the truth of your feelings. Are you being honest with your partner? If there's something that's bothering you, find a clear and clean way to discuss it. Because what's coming forward with this is your balance depends on your open communication. Air, this is your strong suit. You love to be able to communicate. And it's interesting that this is the heart chakra, because this is a love reading, and the heart only knows how to balance the top 3 chakras and the lower 3 chakras. And when they come into alignment, the heart radiates even stronger, whether it's bright green, as in the bottom of the card here, or if it is the vibrant pink. Both are colors associated with the heart. And when you are able to understand the communication, sometimes it's nonverbal, sometimes it's actual speaking out loud. The ability to communicate with each other at your own level is huge. And that's what this balance is saying, is as long as you're keeping your communication open, you found your balance, you know what works for your relationship, doesn't matter what others think. Notice how important that is, though, and how much of a blessing you guys achieve from that. Your Whispers of Love is number 29, forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. The past is your past. Release the energy. Forgiving the past allows you to move forward cleaner. Doesn't mean you're going to forget the lesson, but you're not carrying the emotion with it. An area you love to learn, so this is actually a new exercise for you. And in relationships, it's about, that one time that person didn't empty the dishwasher. That was 5 years ago and you're still bothered about that one time. Let it go. Or, well, that person said something mean. How long were you together at that point? A couple months. They've grown. Things have changed. That's where learning to forgive and let things go from the past is very healthy. Again, if it's super toxic, abusive, things like that, you want to make sure you're not in that relationship currently. But if it's something minor, something goofy like the dishwasher not getting emptied or whatever, those are minor things. Let them go. Don't bring them back up later either. Forgiveness means I release this energy, I have learned the lesson, and I will not return to that energy field. But because you've learned the lesson, you'll know what to look for if it starts to happen again. And in relationships, that's important because you can see the pattern forming. Air, again, your thing, kind of your thing. You'll see a pattern and be like, no, I don't want this to happen again. So how do I diffuse this so that that outcome doesn't happen in my life again? So you're in a good spot holding that balance, and the forgiveness part of it is, if there's something that you have that's been bothering you, Air, couples, release that now. Go through the process of forgiving that situation, forgive yourself for carrying it, and then move forward in peace and grace. Your first tarot is the 9 of Summer, wishes coming true, dreams being fulfilled, and a magical life. You're in a really good energy going forward here. This just makes me smile. Air couples, you've got it. You've got this down. You're in this beautiful relationship. Balance, you are there. You have this ability to just charm the world by how you show up. And it doesn't have to be flashy or out in everyone's face. People notice when there's a couple who are just adorable together. And yes, I'm using that term on purpose. I've seen it in different jobs I've worked over the years. You'll see those couples, and they're usually in their mid-50s to their late 80s. And you can just tell when they walk in the door, they are so in love with each other. It's like the very first day, even though it's been 60 or 70 years later. And you can watch them. They glow. And that's this magical energy that you have in your relationship, Air. You have such a strong bond. Even if you're not touching each other, people know the two of you are together, and then they have that same feeling of, oh, I want that. So you're doing the right thing, Air couples, and it's really powerful the way people are seeing this. You also have the Four of Summer, being distracted and failing to see the magical opportunity. Maybe you need to hear that you're in that magical relationship. And then talking to someone or taking something for granted and discontentment with life. This is what you're being called not to do. Don't get distracted by the new shiny thing. Don't get distracted by, well, I have to have this other fill in the blank purpose. Air, you have the Nine of Summer. You have the wish that came true. You have the dream that showed up. Your life is magical with your partner. Don't get distracted. That's the big part that comes in there. And my guides are laughing, like, that's all you need to say. So, Four of Summer, don't get distracted. You have the magic. You have the beautiful life, Air couples. And when you really focus on that relationship and you're in that process of giving, which is also an energy of receiving, there was an old story that when whatever you give a wife, she amplifies. So if you give her a house, she'll make it a home. If you give her bedroom activities, she'll make a baby. Whatever you give is going to be amplified. But what they don't say is when she builds that spot, it amplifies his way of experiencing life. When there's a home, he'll do more. When there's a child, he'll protect better. It builds on each other. No one is independent of each other in this aspect. You guys, and whether I'm using those terms because that's the old stories. Again, doesn't matter the relationship. Male, male, female, female, male, female, doesn't matter. When you are in that balance with each other, watch what happens and the expansion that grows with it, because you are in the energy right now, Air couples, of really embracing that and seeing how far you can go in your relationship. Take that relationship deeper, bring God's source into it, and see what happens. Because what I'm seeing here in the cards is powerful. And I'm seeing, like I said, it makes me smile because I'm seeing this energy of success, this Nine of Summer energy. Like, people are jealous of you, Air couples. They want to be you guys. So this is huge. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up before I get too goofy here. Have a great rest of your month. Air singles, stay on the path. You've got this. And you're building a new foundation. So let the doors open up and see what happens. Don't forget to look at things from a different perspective. Air couples, you already know what you're doing, and it's looking really well from everyone else. Just don't get distracted. With that, I will let you guys and gals go. Have a great rest of your month, and I will see you in the next video.